Let's look at dividing decimals. Our approach is going to be the same. We want to think about what we would do if we wrote this as a fraction. So 128 and 6/10 I can write as 1,286 over 10. And in fact, just because I want to make my math work out a little bit, I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 0. So let me make sure this is clear to you. This I can write as 1,286 over 10 divided by 4 over 1. And what's going to happen here is that, remember, to divide fractions, I multiply by the reciprocal. And so the issue here is that when I divide 1,286 divided by 4, I'm going to end up with a remainder, right? So 4 goes into 12 3 times. I bring down the 8. 4 goes into 8 2 times. Subtract 8. And I'm left with 6. 4 goes into 6 once. And I'm left with 2. But notice if I had a 0 here, I could pull down that 0, and this goes into 25 times. 4 goes into 25 times. Okay, so we're cheating a little bit to make our division work, which is fine. I'm not actually cheating. I'm just multiplying top and bottom of that fraction by 10, okay? All right, so what happens there when I divide, I get this 3,215 times 1 over 100, which now I can convert back to a decimal, so 32.15. Now notice that had I just left the decimal in, it would have gone here, and if I carry that decimal up above in my quotient, that gives me the answer. And so that's going to be our trick for dividing decimals. When we're dividing by a whole number, we can just treat it as if we're dividing whole numbers without decimals and just carry that decimal place on top in the quotient. Okay. And I've written on top of this, so let me erase a little. All right, now let's look at another division problem. What if my divisor isn't a whole number? So here I have 1.2032 divided by 0.32. So the trick here is that I want to rewrite this as 1.2032 divided by 0.32. And if I multiply top and bottom by 100, that turns my numerator, or my divisor, into a whole number, and on top I have 120.32. And now I can treat this like a problem like the previous problem. I'm dividing by a whole number. So my trick is to carry the decimal point above and do the division. So here in elementary school text, they usually describe that as moving your decimal point 2 places to the right in both your dividend and your divisor. So that's what's pictured here on your screen. And now I can do the long division. So I pick up this decimal here and I do the long division, sort of ignoring the decimal until I'm at the end. All right, I'm going to let you try a division problem, and then we're going to talk about repeating decimals.